Good morning. Welcome back to Passion and World Talk Radio Network, a wholly owned subsidiary of Global Media Network LLC. Educate, enlighten, entertain, mindfulness. And on today's episode of Monday Tips, I'll be reading an article from Business Insider by Ashley Probst, Probst. And the name of her article is I've Been Traveling the World Solo for 10 Years. These 6 tips help keep me safe, social, and sane. And so she goes on saying, I've been solo traveling for a decade and have picked up helpful tips along the way. One of them is I like to structure my trips around planned activities, rest, and space for spontaneous adventures. 2, to me, booking accommodations that help me feel safer or more comfortable are always worth it. Out of all the travels she's traveled, from family vacations and couples getaways to work trips and girls' weekends, solo trips have always been the most rewarding and transformational for her. In the last decade, she has wandered through Paris at night to watch the Eiffel Tower sparkle, photographed the Southern Lights in New Zealand, and road tripped along the west coast of the U.S., all on her own. So if you're the type of adventurer like she is, then these 6 tips are for you. They will keep you safe, social, and sane wherever you go. One of them is 1 hour of travel should equal 1 full day at your destination. In other words, she likes to give herself time to settle in at the beginning of her trips. To maximize her travel experiences, I follow a very simple rule. For every hour spent traveling, I give myself at least 1 full day at my destination. For example, a 40-minute flight from Maui to Oahu is fine for an overnight stay or even a day trip. But a 13-hour international flight, she takes a minimum of 2 weeks to explore at a leisurely pace. She also likes to plan a buffer day at both the beginning and the end of her trips to give herself time to settle in, to adjust to any jet lag, and become accustomed to her surroundings. Plan your days for specific activities, spontaneous adventure, and rest. Wandering around downtown Sedona, for example, she stumbled across someone who rescues reptiles and lets people handle them to help conquer their fears, like snakes or lizards. In her experience, travelers often fall into 1 or 2 categories: those who build an itinerary down to the minute, and those who leave everything to chance. I like leaving everything to chance. My trick is to find a balance between the two. For activities that require planning, perhaps because you require reservations that are sometimes hard to secure, or they're only available on certain days during your travels, she makes sure to schedule them in advance to ensure you don't miss out. But she also believes that it's a good idea to have days with no plans at all, so you can wander aimlessly through a city or take a day to relax at your accommodations and rest for the adventures yet to come. This helps her keep entertained while also making me feel fresh and alert through her travels. Prioritize hotels with social spaces and hosted activities. She likes to prioritize staying at hostels with more amenities or events. I have stayed at the youth hostels here in the U.S., and they're awesome. Novice travelers may think hostels only offer the bare necessities, but in my experience, many are designed with socialization in mind. Some properties feature social, where you can meet other people, They also offer game rooms or on-site bars that serve as natural gathering places, while others may host events like trivia nights, karaoke, or off-site activities, including hikes and city walks. Sometimes she thinks it's worth spending a little extra on a hostel with more amenities or built-in events if she wanted a guaranteed social outlet. These help create safe, supervised environments where she can meet like-minded travelers, whether they're solo or exploring with loved ones, and connect with the locals also. Book group tours for local insights, meeting travelers, and logistical ease. She enjoys the convenience that these tours offer. Although group tours can cost more upfront, in her experience, they often balance out or even save her money once I factored in transportation, entry fees, and convenience. In her opinion, though, the best part of an organized tour is the insider knowledge I gain along the way. For example, your guide can fill you in on his history, local culture, names of plants and animals, or even little secrets you probably would miss, like a shortcut or a hidden path with an amazing view. Plus, I think riding in a tour bus makes things easier since she doesn't have to worry about navigation. She can rest between stops and avoid extra costs like a rental car, insurance, or gas. Carry something that can serve as a conversation starter. She carries tarot cards, which have served as a welcome conversation starter on her trips. Although some travelers may be forced to keep to themselves, she likes to pack an item that can help spark conversations with those around me. And like I said, they are tarot cards. These cards are something I enjoy on my own, but I also give others an easy excuse to approach me. Since tarot is a bit of a niche, it usually means anyone who notices it either shares my interests or is willing to learn, both of which are great icebreakers. That's why I always recommend carrying something with you that signals openness and can help serve as a conversation starter. This could be something tied to a hobby, a travel-size game, or anything that naturally sparks curiosity. A good conversation starter should give you and people a quick glimpse into who you are and what you're open to connecting over. From there, you can decide which interactions to continue and deepen. To me, safety and comfort are more important than money. In her opinion, that is worth the price. When traveling solo, I think the safer option is always the smarter choice, even if it means spending more money. For example, in her opinion, saving $20 on an Uber by opting for a 20-minute walk that begins in a dark, sketchy alley just isn't worth the risk. If something costs my sense of safety or security, it's already too expensive. The same goes for comfort. In my experience, sometimes paying a little bit more for a private room after weeks of sleeping in dorms is important for my mental well-being. So those are the 6 tips that she recommends that you use while you're traveling solo, which will make your trip sane, more careful, and more enjoyable. And that's the whole point of taking a trip. Don't you agree? Thank you very much for listening for Monday Tips with Lillian Cauldwell, 6 tips of solo traveling. You can listen to this all over again at passionworldtalkradio.com/blog, where the blog gives you a description of the podcast, providing the 6 tips, and of course the audio, which you can click on and listen to it immediately. This Monday Tips is brought to you by Conscious Research Solutions. Find us at passionworldtalkradio.com/ Research Made Simple blog, where it discusses all the ways to learn how to do your own research or hire someone to do it for you. Also, you can read all the pain points and then sign up for a 10 to 15 minute free consultation to give you a hand in whatever you require. It's also supported by Flipping Out, How to Train Your Human, a satirical, tongue-in-cheek book of 10 chapters at the moment, which you can buy either chapter by chapter or what we call the whole enchilada. PassionateWorldTalkRadio.com/epic Envision XR, and it gives you choose which chapters you want, or you want the whole book. Also, we offer a course on how to write satire, whether you're writing nonfiction or fiction. Again, check it out. And then go to the next page, which is PassionateWorldTalkRadio.com/epic truths, where you can pay either with a QR code or directly with pwrnetworkllc@gmail.com. Thank you very much and have a tremendous remainder of the week.